Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers in the room, and kids, if your mother's not in the room, go tell them Happy Mother's Day. First, let's start off with a shout out from one of your teachers who wants to say hello this week.
Hi, Mountain View kids. I hope that you are all doing well. I wanted to say hi and that I miss you all very much. I miss worshiping with you and seeing you all in our kids ministry. But I hope that you're still able to watch kids ministry online and sing and dance to all the fun worship songs. And I know that one day we're going to get to do it again. So I look forward to that. I ask that you take care, and I want to let you know that I am praying God's protection over you and your families, and that He fills your hearts with so much love, peace, and joy during this time. Take care. I love you. See you soon. Bye.
So good to hear from your teachers. Everybody, let's stand up and let's have a time of worship.
Staring into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. Reaching beyond the skies, running deep, stretching wide. Perfect love realized, here with you. Come on now. Now this love is for real, you will never let go, never let go. Oh, and it's more than just words, love beyond my control, out of control. Hands up! This is real love, this is real love. Say this is real love, this is real love. Into your eyes makes my heart come alive. Suddenly brought to life when I met you. 1, 2, 3, jump! This is real love, this is real love. This is real love, this is real love. Oh. to be the friend that I can always count on, that I can always count on. Hear me shout it out. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. You are the hero. You are the good guy. You are the savior. And I know that you're always gonna be there. Yeah, you're always gonna be there. When I'm in danger, when I'm in trouble, when I'm surrounded, well, I know that it's you that I can count on, that I can always count on. Hear me shout it out. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa. Stronger than Superman, faster than the Flash, bigger than the Hulk, man. Jesus, what a friend. Jesus is better than any superhero. Jesus is my best friend. Whoa, whoa.
All right, it's time for today's Bible story. If you remember last week, we talked about a guy named Paul and his friend Barnabas, and God told them to go and tell lots of people about Jesus and to start churches all over the world. And they did that. And sometime later, they decided, hey, we should go back and visit all the churches that we started and go travel around and tell even more people about Jesus. So Paul and Barnabas, they decided to get ready to go. But when they were putting their team together, they had a disagreement. Barnabas really wanted to bring along a guy named John Mark. And John Mark had been with them on the first time, but he left halfway through. And Paul was not happy about that. Paul said, well, he left us, so we shouldn't, bring him along maybe. So they disagreed so much that they decided to make two different teams and go in two different ways. Barnabas took John Mark and went to Cyprus, and then Paul, he took a guy named Silas as his new partner, and they traveled around, and at one place, they met a guy named Timothy. Timothy was a cool person that everybody thought was a really great Christian guy. And Paul decided to bring Timothy along and to teach him and to train him how to start more churches. And they went all over the world. They went to Lystra and Derbe and back to Antioch. And eventually, they were deciding where to go. And they started going one place, but God said no. And they tried to go somewhere else, and God said no. And they tried to go somewhere else, and God said no. And then Paul had a dream of a guy from Macedonia, which is another place, which was in the one direction they hadn't tried. So Paul decided, well, we should go help this guy who asked for help. So they went to Macedonia, and they met lots of people, and they started the church there. And it was a really cool way of God leading them into the way that they were supposed to go. And the same thing happens for us. The Holy Spirit leads us and teaches us. And even when we maybe make mistakes, or when we have disagreements, or when things don't work out the way we want to, God still uses that to make even more people hear about him. Just like with Paul and Barnabas having their disagreement, even if that's not what they wanted, God still used it to make even more churches get planted. And just because Paul didn't know where to go and kept getting stuck, God led him into a new place to tell people about Jesus. So we can ask the Holy Spirit for guidance, for help, and for direction of where we're supposed to go and how we're supposed to tell people about Jesus. Today's verse is Acts chapter 1, verse 8. And it says, "You will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you will be my witnesses, telling people about me everywhere, in Jerusalem, throughout Judea, in Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." That's what Paul and Silas and Barnabas and Timothy were all doing, and that's what we're doing today. So, that's our Bible story. Let's go check in and see what's happening at Mooseberry Academy.
So our school, Mooseberry Academy, is in a mission fundraising competition with another school, Gooseberry Academy. The school that raises the most money for missions will get to pick a student to go do missionary work over the summer. We're having a meeting to see how much money each person raised. And did I mention that Lannis' twin brother Tanis goes to Gooseberry? And Lannis says he's never lost at anything.
These are the chronicles of the Mooseberry Masterclass and the exceptional and very, very, very gifted students who attend, and also Alex.
When asked the question, how do we raise money, I went to science for the answer. After some heavy-duty math, I came up with an equation that states, persistence presence with no vocalization indicates an inevitable offering of financial compensation. Simply put, if I stand in one place holding a money pail with my mouth shut long enough, eventually someone will give me money. And I was right.
Amazing! How much did you raise?
$3.26. And a button.
Ha! Pitiful. You guys should have left me in charge. I would have made sure we won.
I tried something completely different. I just told people that we had to beat another school, that our reputation was on the line, and it weighs way more money than Jasper, $8.62, and 2 buttons.
$11.88. Oh, look out, Gooseberry.
Try $12.88. I didn't actually fundraise $1. I just found it.
So I had the $5 raised, but then Sock and I did a comedy show to raise more money. And we lost $5. The show was so bad, the audience made us pay them.
That checks out.
I asked my grandparents for some money, and they gave me $10. They're so nice. I didn't even have to tell them what it was for.
Lame.
How much did you raise, Stephanie?
Nothing.
Did anyone else in this school of geniuses figure out a way to raise a lot of money?
I barely talked about money, but I raised $224 and 6 buttons so far.
Wait, how did you know what to say?
Well, I read the Bible, so I know it's true. But then I prayed that I wouldn't say the wrong things. Then I prayed I'd say the right things. Then I prayed anything I said that wasn't from God, they would forget.
It was the Holy Spirit. That's what the Holy Spirit does.
The rest of us spent all of our time developing clever ways to raise money without actually telling people why it was important.
I think we have a new plan. Make this about Jesus. Ask the Holy Spirit for help talking about him.
Isn't it amazing how God works? Sometimes we want to go one way and God says, nope, I'm going to take you somewhere else. Sometimes we have a really good idea and God says, no, my ideas are better. And you know, it's always better to follow what God has for you, and it's always going to turn out better than what we can come up with. And so, you know, in our verse in Acts 1:8, we learn that God isn't just going to leave us here to do whatever we want and figure it all out on our own. He's going to send us his Holy Spirit to help us and to give us that power to do what he calls us to do. And so today for our craft, it's something super fun. It is a wind spinner. See, it's really colorful, and if you hang it up and the wind will spin. I think we had a really fun time making this. I'll show you how to make it, okay? It's really cool. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start off with a piece of maybe poster board or cardstock, something a little bit thicker. You can use paper if that's all you have. That will work too. And what I did on this is I got a plate and I traced around the plate so that I made a really nice circle. And then you start on the outside and then you're gonna trace a swirl all the way to the middle, but don't close out the circle. You stop before you get to the center, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut that out. You're gonna cut out the circle and then you're gonna start on the edge and you're going to cut that swirl all the way to the middle. And what you're gonna end up with is something like this. And see, we colored it and we wrote the verse on it, and we actually colored the backside so it would be really super colorful. And then you get a piece of string or yarn or whatever, and you're gonna punch a hole right in the middle so that when it hangs, it's gonna spin, and you can hang it outside, you can hang it in your room or wherever. And this is a great reminder that every time we look at it, we can remember that God is not going to let us go and not pay attention. He's going to send us his Holy Spirit to help us. He's going to give us great ideas. And what he wants us to do is he wants us to follow God's will. He wants us to follow what he has for us, not what we want. And that will always turn out better. And so the last thing, it's Mother's Day, right? So I want to challenge you guys. Today, sometime during today, go to your mom. Yes, tell her thank you for all that she does, but why don't you guys pray for your moms? Go to your moms and ask her if you can pray for her, and then pray a blessing. You can pray that God would bless her today, that God would give her so many amazing things, that God would show her how much he loves her. It would be such a blessing to have you as kids praying for your moms. It will be awesome, and your moms will be so happy. What a great Mother's Day present. So have fun doing your craft. Have fun praying for your moms. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you guys next week.